Welcome to day 2 of multiplying decimals. Yesterday, our focus was on coloring in groups of a decimal on hundredth grids and really seeing that when we are multiplying with decimals, we have groups of that decimal and how to represent that. One of the big things is being able to understand the math that we're doing. Today, we're going to look at a more efficient strategy when we're multiplying decimals and tie in some other skills that we've learned so far this year. So let's start off with 2 and 5/10 times 7. This is actually number 2 on the worksheet that you're going to be working on today. We'll look at that in just a moment. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to round those numbers. Rounding the numbers helps you realize, is my answer reasonable? Does it make sense? So 2 and 5/10 we would round to 3, and 3 times 7 equals 21. So I know my answer needs to be around 21. It needs to be like a 2-digit number. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that decimal. I'm going to take that decimal out and change 2 and 5/10 to 25. Now, when I remove the decimal, what I have done is I have made this number 10 times larger. So my answer is going to be 10 times larger when I get done. And that's going to help us think about what we need to do when we put that decimal back in. So I've got 25. I'm going to times that by 7. And this is also why we did so much work with rounding before and the standard algorithm for multiplication. So 7 times 3 is 35. Then 7 times 2 is 14, plus 3 is 17. Now, like I said before, when I take this decimal out, this number is 10 times larger than it is in my equation. So that means my answer is 10 times larger. And a way to make your answer 10 times smaller would be to put your decimal back in. So we're going to refer to our rounding. So in our rounding, we said it should be around 21. So our decimal could go there. That'd be 175. That's way too big. 17 and 5/10 sounds pretty good. Or 1 and 75/100. That's too small. Reminds me of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, right? So this is just right. Gonna put the decimal right there. Because when I look at these, it is reasonable that 17 and 5/10 would be the correct answer. Another way we can look at that is there is one digit after the decimal in my equation. So I'm going to have one decimal in my answer. And that is our last step. That is our count and check step. So today you're going to practice this some more. I solved number 2 because for number 1 through 3, you're going to circle the one that is most reasonable and explain why. Then for 4 and 5, it says use estimation, but you know what? I just want you to solve these. And then on page 492, you've got 4 more problems that you're going to solve. And then it's going to ask you a question about how is multiplying decimals the same as multiplying whole numbers. So while you're working it out, I want you thinking about that. How is that the same? I'll get a key for you guys and get that posted for you to be able to check your work. Feel free to ask any questions today in a private comment. Thank y'all so much. Happy multiplying!